Good morning to you, welcome, it's me Andy Talkin really here, and a very interesting story to do with the DWP government, but mainly the government. This is a article in the Disability News, and it's an unfinished government report that warning about the national power cuts that could cause catastrophic deterioration in some disabled people who obviously some of them rely on medical equipment in their own homes, and if the power cuts, which they are obviously planning, basically it will affect the disabled people in proportion to everybody else who probably could manage. So let's have a look at this story. It's very interesting. So the report warns of catastrophic deterioration in some disabled people, but ministers still shelved the power cut action, as was reported on the 15th of February. And it's an unfinished report reporting that the national power cuts that they obviously are announcing but have yet to happen and possibly could happen, as we all know. Anything they put out in the press is likely because they want it to happen, or it's going to happen, no matter what the cause of it. So the internal scoping paper considered what advice was available for disabled people who rely on mains-powered medical devices at home, and whether there was a need for the Department of Health and Social Care to issue its own guidance. But the DHSC decided not to draw up any guidance and to leave it to individual disabled people and their care teams to decide how they can prepare for and respond to loss of power. That conclusion was reached even though the document makes clear that some disabled people could be at very high risk of deterioration if the power cut was unexpected and it will continue for longer than the equipment's batteries lasted. It warned of significant impact on vulnerable disabled people who rely on the use of medical equipment at home for their health and care. If there were national blackouts, please note that this is a fear-mongering story. They are fear-mongering about blackouts. There is no evidence that these are going to happen. They have been on about it for a year so far. It's all part of the plan, so don't worry. It's all very much planned. And any blackouts that they do have will be deliberate, I'm sorry to say. Only last week, the government's new Disability Action Plan claimed that government departments already consider disabled people's needs in emergency and resilience planning. Those taking part in the consultation on the draft plan told the government there should be better protection for disabled people in future emergencies. But the action plan offered no significant new measures that would address the concerns. The paper also admitted that there was significant flaws with the system of local priority services registers, PSRs, which are supposed to ensure energy companies, well, I'll say that again, energy billing agents provide enhanced support. Obviously they are not supplying anything, it's the national grid, remember that. It warned that there were barriers that prevented many of those eligible from signing up to a PSR. And the paper warned of an issue with understanding how many devices supporting the more critical conditions were being used in disabled people's homes. It said this information would be critical to have in the event of planning outages. Oh God. They're really pushing this idea there's going to be power cuts. I wish they'd give it up. It's just like ridiculous. I've got the mainstream media here. I know Disability News is supposed to be for disabled people, but really, come on, guys, get with it. It's not real. It's all planned. All of this stuff is absolute bullshit. And I can't read any more of it, so if you want to read it, you have to go over there and read it yourself. Because really, I'm not going to read any more of that, because it's a load of crap, and they're just fear-mongering again. The whole thing is complete bullshit. Anyway, if you are worried about it, don't worry about it. it has yet to happen. Like anything else that we've had, you remember those emergency alarms that we were supposed to have on our phones? They never happened because people objected. I think that more people object to this, the better. It is a farce. We are living in cloud cuckoo land. We are living in clown planet. It is just ridiculous, this whole thing. Anyway, mark my words. Nothing's going to come of this. It is just a fear-mongering story. But however, it's also worthwhile if you do rely on medical equipment that you have at home that's mains powered. Do think about other means of powering your equipment. I mean, there are things that you can get. For example, UPS, which is an uninterruptible power supply. This is powered, obviously charged up, battery powered. You charge it up. You can use it on your computer. I have used one before on my computer. It helps you to keep your computer running until you can shut the thing down without crashing and losing all your work. So you could use it if you had a small machine that you were using, I don't know, a CPAP machine or something like that you needed to use. It would power that really well. So maybe look into that, maybe, if you're really, really worried. But to be honest with you, I really won't worry about any of this. It is bullshit. Right, that is my opinion. Obviously, don't listen to me if you think that I'm talking bullshit, because I'm not a guru of any sort. I just give you my opinion on this, and my opinion is, as I said. So there we go, and of course have a very good day, and hopefully we'll see you later for the live stream at 4 p.m.